The laughter echoed across the training yard, harsh, mocking, and loud enough to sting. It wasn't the laughter of camaraderie. It was the kind that made people shrink inside themselves. Private Evelyn Cole stood still in the middle of it all, her hands clasped behind her back, her brown hair tied neatly under her cap. She didn't flinch. She didn't even look at them. That only made the laughter grow louder. "Hey, rookie!" one of the Marines jeered. "You sure you're in the right camp?" "The yoga class is down the road." The others chuckled. They called her Mouse, Feather, Cupcake. Names meant to remind her she didn't belong here, not among the Marines, not in this brotherhood of grit and scars. But Evelyn didn't talk back. She waited, because she knew what was coming. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The next test was hand-to-hand combat drills, the part everyone looked forward to. The instructors paired recruits randomly. Evelyn's name appeared next to Corporal Travis Hale, 6'2", built like a wall and the loudest of her tormentors. He smirked as they stepped into the ring. "Don't worry, sweetheart," he said, stretching his arms. "I'll go easy on you." She just nodded. When the whistle blew, he charged. Fast, confident, careless. The next moment, he was on the ground. No one saw it clearly. It was too quick. One sidestep, a shift of her weight, and his own momentum had done the rest. A stunned silence spread. Travis scrambled to his feet, red-faced. "Lucky hit," he grunted. He went in again, harder this time. Evelyn ducked, pivoted, and used his force against him. Again. This time he hit the mat with a thud that echoed across the yard. Gasps replaced laughter. The instructor, an old gunnery sergeant with a scar over his left eye, didn't stop it. He wanted to see. 2 more recruits stepped forward, uninvited. "Come on, Mouse," one of them said, half laughing, half curious. "Let's see what you got." Evelyn's eyes narrowed. She didn't want to hurt them, but they didn't stop coming. One fainted left. The other lunged. She dropped low, swept one's leg, twisted, and used the other's arm to flip him clean over her shoulder. The air filled with dust and disbelief. By the time it was over, 6 men lay on the ground, groaning, gasping, dazed. Evelyn stood at the center, calm as ever, not even breathing hard. The gunny blew the whistle sharply. "Enough!" The recruits scrambled to their feet. Their laughter was gone, replaced by something heavier. Respect. Maybe even fear. The sergeant walked over, studying her closely. "Where'd you learn that, Private?" Her voice was steady. "My father taught me, sir." Before he died, he nodded slowly. "Military?" She hesitated. "Recon Marine. KIA in Mosul." The silence deepened. Even Travis looked away, ashamed. Later that night, when the barracks were quiet, he approached her bunk. "Hey," he said softly. "I didn't know about your dad." Or, "You." Evelyn looked up from polishing her boots. "You didn't need to," he sighed. "You proved more today than any of us." She smiled faintly. "I wasn't proving anything. I was just training." He nodded, humbled. "Guess we were the ones who needed training." For the first time since arriving, Evelyn felt seen. Not as the quiet girl, not as the rookie, but as a Marine. Days passed, and something changed. The jokes stopped. The sneers turned into greetings. When drills began, the same men who'd mocked her now waited to learn from her. Her technique, her precision, her calm. Even the instructors began pairing new recruits with her, not to test her, but to teach them. One evening, as the sun bled orange over the camp, the gunnery sergeant called her forward during roll call. "Private Cole," he said, his voice booming across the field, "you've done what few manage in this unit. You earned respect without demanding it." The recruits stood straighter. Even Travis. The sergeant continued. "You reminded us all that strength doesn't shout. It stands quietly, and when needed, it strikes." Applause rippled through the rows. It wasn't loud or forced. It was real. Evelyn felt her throat tighten. She hadn't cried when she left home. Not when her father's flag was folded into her hands. But tonight, as the sunset glowed against the faces of those who finally understood her, she felt something unspoken. Peace. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. The same way silence, once mocked, can become the loudest proof of strength. If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe to Whispered Words. Tell us where you're watching from. And remember, never mistake quiet for weakness. Sometimes the quiet ones are the strongest among us.